y'all. I've had one heck of a day. I started out my day with opening up my computer and finding out that my motherboard is fried. So I spent quite a few hours on the phone with tech support trying to figure out what to do with my poor computer and its broken motherboard. So I definitely didn't start out on the right foot. So I'm glad I'm doing a design challenge today because this always perks up my day. It is absolutely my favorite part of my job. And if you haven't watched one of these before, you've been missing out. Basically, I get sent a package from a partner company. I don't know what's inside it. I'm going to open it right here on camera, and we're gonna look at what Ayla sent me. This is from Ayla's Originals in Evanston, Illinois. And we're gonna make something with whatever happens to be here in the package. Now, Ayla's Originals is a fantastic actual mom and pop brick and mortar bead store that you can go into in Illinois. She also has a website, which is aylasoriginals.com, and Ayla is A-Y-L-A, and I think it's S, yeah, S, originals.com is where you can find her online. But she carries a really wide variety of products in the store. Hi, Ayla. I'm so excited to see what I do too. So she carries a bunch of stuff in the store, and then she has a long list of things that she carries online too. I was looking a little bit today just to get kind of an idea of what they have online. They have some really cool leather pieces, wraparound bracelets, and then just basic leather. They have big hole pearls, metal beads, bead mixes, and I thought this was really smart. She sells pet charms on her website, and basically they are, you know, gemstones that, you know, have, what's the word I'm looking for? They, you know, may be uplifting or healing, or they have healing properties. She has made them into a charm you can hang from your dog or your cat's collar. And it's just so cute. Like, I could totally picture doing that with my future dog. So I thought that was really neat. So she's got a really good wide variety of items on her website, which is, again, www.aylasoriginals.com. And we'll be opening this package to see what it is that she sent today, and we'll go ahead and make something. So I'm going to flip you guys down and just get going. So it's nice to see all of you are here. Hey, Eva. She says, love these challenges. Sitting here waiting. Hi, Martha. Hi, Shelly. Nice to see all of you. So, of course, the Cyber Monday sale was fantastic. I had so much fun showing you guys all of those wig jig pieces, and we will be processing that. Thomas will be processing all the comments tomorrow, and then we will be processing the orders Monday. So you'll start hearing from me next week. I'll probably send you a photo of your package again, like I did last time, just to catch any errors or things that are wrong. And then we will discuss with you how you want to make a payment too. Hey, Pamela, thanks for joining us. Okay, so I've got my package here from Ayla that I'm going to open. Let's see, I'm going to move you guys up just a little bit, so if I push into this, I don't have to. There we go. What did Ayla send me? So I've known Ayla for years. I actually knew Ayla's dad from one of my very first bead shows that I worked at. It was like, I think it was Fort Lauderdale or it was New Orleans. It was somewhere kind of exotic. And he was there with his best buddy, I believe. And this is so cute. He was there with a good friend, and it was one of my first bead shows, and he and I clicked really easily. He was really, really sweet. And kind, and he told me all about his wonderful daughter, Ayla, and eventually I met Ayla too, and I've just known her for what feels like forever and ever now. Aww, you're beautiful too. Look at my little flag. This helps. I was saying at the beginning of the show before anybody was here, I woke up to a fried motherboard this morning. So my laptop is gone. So I need a little bit of a party celebration to get me back in a good mood. So I'm glad I'm doing a design challenge today. That'll help make me feel better. Okay, to open before. Oh, okay, so this is probably what I was supposed to open before I even got on here. Oh. Oh, okay. Oh, this is all information. Yeah, I never opened the package before. I don't know what's in the package. I open it when on air. Like I really don't know. So this is what Ayla says. Dear Sarah, thank you for the opportunity. I can't wait to see what you make. As a special thank you to your viewers, they can get 20% off an online order. Just go to www.aylasoriginals.com, and from there you can go on the website and enter thank you to get 20% off your order. For even more products, click the link to the Etsy site and enter promo code THANKYOU20 when checking out on Etsy. I didn't even see the Etsy site. Thanks again, creatively yours, Ayla. P.S. You are beautiful. Thank you, Ayla. That's so nice. Okay, so, and this little guy, look at this little guy, fell out of the package. Isn't that beautiful? I love that. Okay, so I did notice these on Ayla's website. I was spying on them a little earlier today. She does bead mixes. So this is a really beautiful mixture of like pinks and browns and creams, lots of different colors. This one's called Sherry's Surprise. There's a ton of them, and looks like the retail price, $12. 20% off when you use coupon code thank you on the website. Yeah, and then there's it looks like some pearls are mixed in there. Let me see if I get close enough that you can really kind of look through it. So really pretty mixture. She also sent a strand of what look like some Baroque pearls, and they're in kind of like a bronzy, have a little bit more of a red tone to them. And then she has metal beads. I noticed that as well. Some really beautiful gold. These are heavy duty. What are these made out of, Ayla? Are these brass? Some really pretty, and they're kind of square shaped cubes, metal beads. And then here's some of the leather. I'm gonna assume this is 5 yards of 1.5 millimeter, and it's a gold, beautiful gold color, which is cool. And of course, this really lovely charm. So let's tear some of this apart and see what we're gonna make today. I'm picturing, I love this gold and these pearls together. I think would look lovely with this hanging from the bottom. Let me open this up and see what that looks like. All these pretty seed beads in here. Okay, so they're solid brass covered with a clear protective coating to keep the finish from the Philippines. Now, Ayla also has finished jewelry on her website. So if you're looking for a really great gift for Christmas, for someone you care about, there is a finished jewelry section there as well. So sometimes you just can't get around to making everything yourself, or you want to get something special from a special designer. Ayla has plenty of good stuff there that you can take a look at too, for sure. I'm going to cut some of this up just so we can start kind of piecing things together and playing around with some different items here. These are beautiful pearls. Are these the big hole pearls? Look at how big this hole is. Holy moly, that is awesome. I don't think I've ever seen a pearl with a hole this size. Oh yeah, you just said pearls are big hole. I'm a little slow, sorry. Look at how big that hole is, you guys. That's like unbelievable to me. Wow, that's awesome. Yeah, that can make it really hard to string pearls sometimes when they have such little holes. So it's really nice to see a big holed pearl. Go. And just a little bit more about Ayla. She's actually been a brick and mortar store in Evanston for 21 years. She used to be the director of human resources for an educational publishing company, but got burnt out, and she found beading was her passion. And so she had been going to a bead store in Evanston regularly, and it just, lo and behold, the bead store owner decided she was going to retire. And so Ayla decided to jump in and take over the space and, you know, renamed her business Ayla's Originals. And yeah, they just recently actually celebrated the 20th year of Ayla's Originals and had a big anniversary party in Evanston, which is awesome. The mayor of Evanston named April 25th Ayla's Originals Day in honor of her 20th anniversary. So what a great story. I love seeing people who follow their passion and do something they really love with their lives. I think that's so important and really, really awesome. So I can't imagine these pearls actually fit on this leather, right, Ayla? That's not the case, is it? They don't actually fit on this leather, do they? Yeah, it's a tight fit, but they do almost fit, but not quite. I was so curious to see if that's why these are big hole pearls and you sent the leather too. But they don't quite, you have to really work it. You could probably get them through if you really worked it, is gonna be my guess, right? Okay, so I'm gonna grab out some soft flex to work with as well. And I think we'll just do kind of a fun, I feel like these would make, I want these to jingle a little bit. I feel like I need to wire wrap them or something and make them jingle. And I very rarely use leather, so this is kind of a cool, and what size is this? 1.5 millimeter. I wonder if my 3 millimeter crimps will work on this. Let me see. Let me see what I got here. Sometimes, no, probably not. Well, let me try a trick I've tried before. Oh, just cut the leather at an angle. Let's trim. I have tried this before too, where I kind of flatten it so it'll go through a little bit more easily. Let me see if this will fit. Sometimes I can make things. Oh, it's so close, but not quite. Let me see if I flatten here too. What happens? Just curious about whether this would crimp or not, and it doesn't look like it will. So good information. All right, so let's try it on an angle and see about these big hole pearls. Let's see. I don't know. I can get a good enough angle here. Sorry if I'm going off camera. I'm trying to cut this at a good tip here so it'll feed through better. Let's see. Let's try a different one too and see. Yeah, I don't know, Ayla. You probably have the touch for this, but I probably do not. But that's okay. It all works out in the end. Okay, so what I was thinking about doing is possibly tying this onto here, and then I'm thinking about hanging some of these big hole pearls, and maybe even some of the little pearls and some of the metal beads down from it. With some Softflex craft wire. So let me grab, oh Ayla, don't be sorry. They might even fit. It's always so hard to tell what will work and what won't work. That's the fun of these challenges, is I get to kind of test things out and see what works, what doesn't work, and then other people know when they buy the product what it's going to be like for them too. So I'm going to do kind of a long necklace. So I'm just going to cut like a long piece here with the leather. And I am going to see if I can come through the center of this with the, if I can bend it and get it through, which again may not work. Never know. Now, do you sell these charms on your website, Ayla? Like charms like this, are they on your website or are they on the Etsy? I don't think I saw these when I was looking around. So I pulled it through the center, and then I'm just going to split the two cords and pull it. I love this gold color in the leather. It's really pretty. It's a really pretty color. And I'm just gonna pull this back through. So we've got a really nice connection there with the leather, holding on to the pretty, pretty charm. And now we'll just add a couple beads up the back end, and we can make a really pretty pair of earrings to go with it too. I feel like my best friend is coming to visit this weekend from Phoenix. She's coming to visit us here in the Bay Area. And I feel like she's a yoga instructor, but I feel like she would love this piece. So if it works out, maybe I can give this to her as a birthday present, because her birthday is coming up. Leather color would be pretty for ornaments. Oh yeah, definitely. Kristen's got ornaments on the mind. Mimi says, hi Sarah, hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving. I had a fantastic Thanksgiving. We spent Thanksgiving with the dean of the school that Joshua's going to, so Goldman School of Public Policy, and his family, and then a bunch of Joshua's classmates. So it was a lot of fun. Kristen, you do have ornaments on the mind. Okay, so I'm gonna grab some Softflex craft wire because I want to make a few dangles and see what that would be like if we sort of intermix this up this leather cord. So just give me a second while I grab from my box over here. I have this bronze color. I don't think that quite matches very nicely though. This gold is probably a better match. And this is a thick gauge, it's 20 gauge, but these are pretty big beads. So let's give it a try with 20, and then if I find I want to do it with a thinner gauge, we can try that too. So this is Softflex craft wire. This is our 20 gauge, which is one of the thicker gauges that we carry. We carry up to 18 gauge. And I should say, Ayla's Originals carries a lot of our beading wire products. So that 20% off coupon, which is thank you for aylasoriginals.com, I'm sure must apply to Softflex too. So if you need some Softflex right now, that would be a great opportunity for you to head on over to her shop and buy some Softflex, as well as some of the cool products that I'm using here today. But back to the craft wire. Our craft wire is a copper-based wire. This particular one has a silver plating, and then it has a gold color over the top of it, and then a clear nylon or clear polyurethane coating, which makes it hypoallergenic and also non-tarnishing, so it should always stay this really pretty gold color. It comes in lots of different colors, gold, silver, green, red, and almost anything you can imagine. So lots of different options. And then, you know, this is a thicker gauge, but we carry it up to 28 gauge, which is a pretty thin gauge of craft wire. And Ayla is making sure that you guys notice that they have a Facebook page and a VIB group. So definitely follow the link over to Ayla's Facebook page, and you can link it right here if you want, Ayla, and also link your website. And that way you guys can check that out too and see what Ayla's Originals is up to on a regular basis. Okay, so we're just gonna make a basic dangle with one of these, and then we'll kind of decide if we want to keep going and make some more, or you know what we want to do here. I'm gonna get my round nose plier, and I am just going to make a simple wire wrapped loop. And you want to make sure anytime you're working with a thicker material that you're making your loop big enough that it can fit through, and it can in this case. So I know even at the almost at the tip of my round nose pliers, I'm going to make a loop that is applicable to the leather that we're working with today. And then I'm going to take my chain nose pliers. I like to just hold on to that loop, and then I bend the wire around. Some people use a second pair of chain nose, and you know, when you're doing a lot of thick wire, that can be really handy for sure. In this case, I'm just gonna kind of do it the fast and easy and simple way. And if you feel like this little end is sticking out, you just take your chain nose plier and kind of tuck that in. I'm going to trim somewhere down here at the bottom. I probably don't need this much of a length, but for the purpose of doing a live video and not wanting to have to redo it again, I'm just going to do a nice long length. Now I can do just the pearl, or there is this beautiful mix of items that Ayla sent where I could do maybe a couple of beads, and I could make each one sort of a unique little dangle, like something like this for my first one. And I'm just going to take the wire from the bottom, and I'm just going to wrap up and around and around, and then I'm just going to do kind of a messy wrap here at the top up to the loop. So you can get a good look at what that looks like here. And now I'm just going to trim my wire off. And then I can do that same thing, tuck my tail so it doesn't catch on something if you're wearing a nice sweater, or you know, something where you don't want the wire to catch. It can be really annoying. I'm going to string my leather through this little dangle and bring it down, and then we'll kind of see how we feel about it, how it's gonna lay, if it's gonna be annoying. So we've got one. I'm gonna do one that's a little smaller on top of it, or maybe one that's smaller below it. So let's do maybe even one of these pearls here. Let's see. Probably going to be quite a bit of wire wrapping on this guy to get it to where I want it. So I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm just making a basic wire wrapped loop like that. And then I'm going to grab that with the chain nose pliers. So I'm just holding on to it and then wire wrapping around the top. Some people are really big sticklers about having each one look exactly the same. I tend to be a little messier than that, so I, you know, keep it a little bit more simple. I'm gonna see, this might be too thick of a gauge of wire to do smaller ones, which in that case, maybe I should get a thinner gauge so we can do some of these smaller beads too, and add those up this as well. So let me look for a smaller gauge, a 22 gauge or so. Hey Cheryl, see you later. Thanks for stopping in. Okay, so I'm gonna go into my big box. I gotta show you guys this box, you guys. So after 18 years of working for Softflex, this is my box of craft. This is my box of craft wire. Isn't it crazy? This is what I go look for wire in when I, and it's a mixture. We used to carry artistic wire, so I have some artistic wire still in here that I don't use anymore, and then I have tons and tons of craft wire in like every gauge you can imagine. Okay, so I found a 24, so I'll just get that out just in case. And then I'm gonna look for 22 as well. I can't seem to find my bag of 22 in here for some reason. Did I take that and put it somewhere else? Here's 28, 18, 24. Let me try a different box and see if I've 22 has gone missing. Okay, well we've got 24 and we've got 20, so we'll just make it work, right? You want a box of craft wire like that? No, you don't, because you won't be able to find what you need when you need it. Which is probably why I have a box like that, because I end up going and grabbing something. So this is 24. So this is quite a bit thinner than what we were working with before. I don't know if you can kind of tell the thickness. It's going to be a lot easier to work with, for sure, and it should fit through some of the smaller holes in like these little tiny pearls. Like that, yeah, perfect. Okay, so I'm going to cut off a piece of the 24 gauge and we'll try making one of the smaller one and see how we feel about it. First, let's just do a wire wrapped loop and then we can so again, just making a basic wire wrapped loop. I'd much rather be doing this, you guys, than talking to Dell computers about my motherboard. I was pretty miserable this morning. It's like my least favorite thing to be doing. So I'm very glad to be here and that part of my day is over and that I'm able to be doing this part of my day. So you can see, even like though I'm using a really thin wire, this smaller pearl has such a small hole, it's not even going to go on the 24 gauge. So that's something to think about when you're picking gauges of wire, and depending on what you're using, pearls can be really tricky. I mean, they can be so difficult. Oh, that's a nice red bead that's mixed in. Is that the only one like it in there? Looks like it. That's awesome. Okay, so I'm going to pick a nice bead here, hopefully that we can get onto, there we go. Maybe a little seed bead in between. Just put a couple of these out. I'm liking this little pink seed bead. Right, something like that. That's still a little big. Maybe I should just do, and hopefully I didn't make my loop too small because it might be a little different. Oh, the challenges. Oh, yeah, it fits great. Okay, so I'm just going to do a little bead here. I think that'll fit in there a little bit better and it'll help with how this is hanging. So I'm just going to take my bead Wrap the wire up and around. Bead deeply. Yes, I do need to bead deeply, seriously. I couldn't believe it. It just like my computer's only 2 years old, so it just seems, a little premature. But hopefully it's just the motherboard and it's not the hard drive, so they can just change it out and I will be back in business, just not till next week. Okay. And there we go. We got our just basic little dangle. I'm going to slide this off of this beautiful leather. Everything here, for those of you that have just joined us, is all the beads here and the leather are from Ayla's Originals. You can find them at aylasoriginals.com. Ayla has graciously offered a coupon code, thank you, to get 20% off. You can get it off the bead mixes, you can get it off the big pearls or the metal beads. And you can also go to her Etsy shop and use thank you 20 and get 20% off there. And I didn't get a chance to see what is in her Etsy shop, but I'm sure it's a bunch of great stuff too. I'm in love with this gold leather. It's so pretty. It's really, really, really pretty. I'm sure the leather must come in a lot of different colors, right, Ayla? We've never really gotten into leather. Okay, so this is kind of where we're at now. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side just so I can see how it's laying. And then I might do another little dangle up here and we'll just kind of build up from the bottom. Sometimes it takes a few dangles to see if something's going to work or not work. And we can kind of decide as we move forward how we're feeling about it. But I'm going to do another little one over here, and I guess it doesn't need to match it exactly, but I'm going to look for something that's kind of similar to that bead. That's still a little small. Where are you, second bead? I know you're in here somewhere. That's pretty good. But see if I can find anything a little bit. If I'm gonna go different, I might as well go completely different so it doesn't look like I just made a mistake. So we'll do that. We'll do this guy here on the bottom on the second side, and then we'll make this one look different too, so the whole thing has a different look. Ooh, and we can do some of these metal ones up here too. Okay, so I'm gonna do another thin guy, and you'll see I'm using nylon jaw pliers. If you've never seen these before, they are a godsend. They straighten out your wire and take out all the lumps and bumps and make it really easy to use. I see Kimberly's asking for the code again. The code at Ayla's Originals is thank you to get 20% off. And thank you 20 on the Etsy store, I believe, is what you need to get your discounts. Okay. I'm going to make another loop. Really simple. I know different people make their wire wrap loops in different ways. So this is the most comfortable way I've found. Sometimes I've made necklaces where it's nothing but, links. And this has just always seemed to work the best for me. Cut some wire off, and I'm gonna take my little pearl down here. Hopefully this guy will fit. Oh, yep, he fits. Onto the 24 gauge wire, and then I'm just gonna wrap up and around. This is just such a quick and easy way to make a dangle. And if you're just new to beading and you're not quite sure what you're doing yet, this is a great way to make just a simple earring too. All you have to do is open up your ear wire and attach it to that little loop at the top. and you're good. You're good to go if you want just a simple earring with one simple bead, and you'll have a little wire exposed on one side, but it's no big deal. And again, like usually handmade is a little messy, and that's okay. You know, you don't have to have, your loop doesn't have to be perfect. It just needs to look, you know, generally nice, but not like you don't have to be really hard on yourself, especially with wire wrapping. It's very forgiving. Okay, so I'm just gonna slide this down. We'll make another guy up here, and then I can just keep building up from there. I already have my guy ready here. So we're gonna pick a different bead from in here too. So we are kind of being consistently inconsistent. But I have to find a bead that has a big enough hole. So it can't be one of the pearls. See if there's another seed bead in here. There's a clear seed bead that's kind of cool. And then we'll put one of these big hole pearls. We're just making another basic dangle here. I'm just going to pull my wire up and over, and we'll just go around like so. And there we go. And I'm just gonna tuck. Oh, tucked a little too far. Tuck so there's nothing poking out, just the big deal. You don't want it to catch on anything. That's very, very annoying. We try to avoid annoying, don't we? Okay, so I'm just gonna string this guy, and we'll kind of see where we're going here. So I think I can probably do a few more of these off the air rather than on, and keep building up here, and eventually we'll have a pretty cute looking little necklace that I can just do one of those wraps in the back if you want to make it short or long. So let me show you how to do that, just in case you've never worked with leather and made a slide closure. Since I can't crimp it, this is kind of a nice way to be able to finish it off. So this is my end of wire. I'm just going to knot around it on this side, and then I'm going to knot around it on this. And I'm just going to pull that fairly tight. You can even take your chain nose pliers and just kind of really give it a good yank so it'll slide, but it's not going to untie. You want it to be, you know, pretty tight. And then you can clip this, you know, a lot shorter, so you can pull on it, but it doesn't have to be so long. And then that'll allow you to slide open or closed. So you could wear this necklace as a big long necklace, or you could wear it as a shorter necklace that's a little higher up, depending on what you're wearing it with. Yeah, so I'm going to continue working on some of the dangles down here, the little jewels, and I will post a picture of that later. So in the meantime, I'm going to make a quick pair of earrings to go with it as well. I wish I could get these beads to fit on the leather, and I think I might have to like really make it happen, because I have such a cute idea for it. No, they just don't want to. I'm thinking about making an earring that's like kind of like a fringe earring. Trying to think how it would work. If I would tie it up here. I'm so not a leather user, so this is like such a cool challenge for me, Ayla, because this isn't something that I normally get to do at all. Okay, so let's see what this looks like. If I tie it up here and I have my ear wire up here, I'm just picturing like how cool it would be to have beads on this and like tie it down. How do I add the bead I want? So I'm going to look at it from this direction too. If I'm adding a bead dangle down here, could I attach it with this awesome gold leather? Yeah, so I'm just going to open this up a little bit and I'm going to put this tail through here just to see. This is kind of like tying a bow, isn't it? And then I can attach my ear wire on one side. Oh, I should get an ear wire out. And then my bead dangle on the other side. How do I make sure I don't lose my knot is the only thing I'm a little concerned about. Okay, so I don't know if you guys can even see what I'm doing. I'm in my own little world. Do you guys picture me at home making stuff, talking to myself? Because this is exactly what it looks like. Yeah, so I just basically tied what looks like sort of like a bow, and it could be pulled out either way. It could be pulled out this way. I'm just kind of pulling it down tight. And then I'm thinking I can attach an ear wire up here and I can attach a dangle down here. But I am a little concerned about how you make sure this doesn't come free and like really tighten it down. So let me play around with that part of it. Can I really like get this knot tight enough that, and I'm gonna get an ear wire out somewhere. How many of you guys use, wire wrap the knot? That's an interesting idea. Yeah, let's try that. That sounds really cool. Let's see if this ear wire even fits, because it's got kind of a small loop. Yeah, I like the idea of this. Yeah, it fits. Yeah, so I guess you could wire wrap to just secure it so it doesn't come loose. That seems like a decent idea. I want this to be much smaller. I love using new materials. It's so fun. I wonder if I should even knot this on the back side before we wire wrap it so that it tightens it down. Use a jump ring and then knot. Oops. Don't want that. I want to keep this. And then let's keep these two loops big enough that can connect. Okay, this is all testing. Never done it before, guys. Don't know what I'm doing, per usual. So hang in there while I figure out what it is that I'm doing. I think that looks kind of interesting. Okay, we're back. Silly Facebook always does this lately. So it just dropped me mid-video, and I'm just jumping back on to show you again where I was at with my earring that I'm making. Ta-da! And so I am going to just face the camera back down again. Thank you for all of you who jump back on and join me again. I don't know what's going on with them. It seems like it drops. It used to never drop for me, and now lately it drops a lot. So hang in there. Here we go. Okay, so back to my earring that I was making. I think that a little drop of glue would definitely be super helpful for anchoring this in place, but I really love, love, love this shape. I think it looks super cool. I'm gonna make a dangle to hang from it using the craft wire that sort of matches what we were doing before. So these earrings could be worn with, you know, with the necklace. And so I'm just gonna do a big hole bead again. I'm just gonna grab my wire, clear it off with my nylon jaw pliers, and start making my loop. And Ayla, can you post a link to what the leather glue is that you suggest? I would love to see what you as an expert think is the best leather glue. So I might want to pick up a bottle of that and use it for these earrings. We're back. Hi, Lena. Hi, Kristen. You guys are such good sports for joining me again. Okay, so I am just gonna grab a big hole bead here, and these are earrings, so I definitely want two. Make sure there's two in the collection. And I have my 2 beads on my wire, and I'm gonna do the same thing as before. Oh, and I should have attached. What am I thinking? So if you've already got a loop, a closed loop that you need to attach to, you have to attach before you wire wrap it. I don't know what I was thinking. Okay, so back to the basics here. So we're gonna make our loop, but rather than closing it off, I'm gonna actually open it up while it's still not connected. And I am going to, that's so interesting. I think my camera is like lighting this up. And I didn't turn anything on to my knowledge, so I don't want to pull this apart. So make sure your loop, your craft wire loop, is nice and open and can fit through the leather. And then I'm going to hold my loop just like before and do my wrapping. Snip, snip. And if you want to push that in, there we go. And this is a little wonky. You can even do your nylon jaw pliers at this point. I am going to wrap up. Here we go. And there we go. We have a little wire wrap dangle on top of our knotted leather, which is something I've never done before, and hopefully I can recreate it again. But yeah, so this has been super fun using these big hole pearls and metal beads and this cute little bead mix, and of course this beautiful gold leather. This is really gorgeous. From Ayla's Originals. You can find Ayla's Originals at www ilasoriginals.com. And again, you can use coupon code thank you to get 20% off your order. And then also you can use thank you 20 on her Etsy shop to get 20% off there, and she has some other items there that you can check out. And if you're in Illinois, you should definitely go stop by Ayla's Originals. It's in Evanston, Illinois. Been in business for a really long time, and of course her favorite stringing material is Softflex, and whose isn't if you're here, right? So she's been a fantastic customer of ours and helped lots and lots of wonderful beaders out there use our products, and we couldn't be more appreciative of what you do, Ayla, and all of the bead store owners out there, really. So if Ayla's not in your neighborhood, then look for your local bead store in your neighborhood, because there's nothing more important to this industry than supporting those mom and pop shops that have the best products and services around when it comes to beading. So you can also find your local bead stores on our bead store locator on our website, which is www.softflexcompany.com. You put in your zip code, it'll tell you where to go, and there's a lot of great stores still out there. So make sure if you have one near you that you get in there, take some classes, spend a little money over the Christmas season especially, and keep those mom and pop stores moving forward. So thanks, Ayla. I really appreciate the box. You did a great job, and I can't wait to see you one of these days in person here in Sonoma. I still am going to take you out to lunch. She has a grandbaby not too far from here, so I'm looking forward to seeing you here, and I'm looking forward to seeing all of you guys next Wednesday. I will be doing a crimping demonstration. We're doing a show all about crimps, all the different kinds of crimps, all the different kinds of crimping pliers. So put together your best questions and have them ready next Wednesday, 1 p.m. Pacific, right here on the Softflex Facebook page. Love to see all of you guys here. Have a great day. Bye.